So I'm standing in front of the main door of Kariappa house on the street side. Let me take you through the facade and the street view before we enter the house. It's a very um, unobtrusive and non-imposing facade that we have. It's a series of small houses which have been restored, and it makes a continuous property now. Um, it starts from this end, and these are the individual houses along the way. Um, this is what the street looks like. This is our main door from where we bring in our guests. As you step in, you enter into the central courtyard. The office is on our right, and this is the view of the central courtyard. So it's almost like stepping into a secret garden. But when our guests have luggage and they need to bring their vehicle in, we do not use this entrance. So at that point, we use the other gate. Further down the road, on the right hand side is our parking space, which is across the street from our house. It's large enough for about 7 cars. This whole house is also one of ours. We haven't restored it yet, but we hope to do it soon. And this is the gate, the main gate from where guests can bring their cars in to unload. Our property extends till the end of that car over there. So this is the entire facade. We shall enter from here, and then I can show you the rest of the property. Rameshwarji? This is Rameshwar. Namaste, Rameshwarji. Rameshwar has been with us for 20 years. He has been with Jyoti and her family, and he moved to Pondicherry when her mother, when auntie came to live here, and he has been he's ex-army, and there's nothing that he cannot do. Let's put it that way. He lives on the property, and he takes care of all the guests. Whenever the rest of the staff are not here, he's in charge of the whole place. Band kar do, Rameshwarji. So going back to the property, here we have this is the main reception area and the office, which I'll show you later. I'll come back to it. Let's start with the tour of the property from the northernmost end, which is this way. And what you see behind is the roof of the swimming pool. We'll come to that. But just to draw attention to the fact that we actually take great pride in our little lush tropical garden. It has matured over the years, and Jyoti is most passionate about her gardening, and I enjoy it a bit as well. What we do is whenever we travel, we go looking for the most exotic species of shrubs and flowers, flowering plants and trees, every possible kind of plant that we think might grow in this area. So we try and bring it back and nurture it, help it to grow. As a result, we have this lovely little secret garden kind of a space. You can see a beautiful little Taj ginger over there, which we brought back from Coorg. A lot of it has grown. For example, the monstera. As you see, we have very healthy monstera growth over here. We've created a shade garden walk-through. We're still working on the ground cover. We've just started that this year, so it should be ready in a couple of months. We have a very huge collection of heliconias and bird of paradise, frangipanis, just a wide range of tropical flowers, as you can see. Walk down, that's a beautiful flowering banana, if you can see somewhere right there. It's a rare variety of a flowering banana. It doesn't fruit. As we walk towards the pool, what we have on the left is the building that is called Mantra. It's not an old house, it's a more contemporary uh, house, probably built in 1970s. We have renovated and remodeled it. We've created this ramp, a very wide ramp access, which takes us up to this ground level. It's occupied right now, but I can show you the deck from outside. The two rooms that we have here, they both open onto this deck, which overlooks the garden, the swimming pool, and the central courtyard on the other side. So this, the ground floor of this house can be rented as a studio unit, because along with it there is a living room and a dining space and a kitchen, a fully equipped kitchen. So a family can rent the entire space. The first floor is totally residential. That is where I live. Here we have a couple of varieties of ginger. This is a red ginger, and we also have a beautiful pale pink variety now. This is the pale pink ginger. So yeah, we nurture the soil now. We don't have to do much. It's just the natural leaf mulch which we collect, and then we use EM. We extend the EM, and we use our vegetable kitchen waste to create our own compost, and that is what sustains the garden. And this is where we have our lap pool. So this is a pool which is about 23 meters long and around 10 feet wide, which is sufficient for 2 people to swim laps simultaneously. We ask our guests to book private hourly slots so that there is no sharing involved. We did this right from the beginning, even before COVID happened, so pool time is not shared time between guests. It's it's pretty much like a private pool at that point when you come to use the pool yourself. This is a good time probably to say that do not, we are not open to children below 12 as a rule, because there are lots of places around Pondicherry who cater to such families. But for those who are seeking solitude and a space for contemplation and quietness, there are not too many options. So we are more of a retreat rather than a resort. We do make exceptions, of course, because when parents assure us that the children are sensitive to such atmosphere and they would be more than happy to be in a place like this, we definitely are open to such young children as well. So to use the pool, you just need to book an early slot, and it's yours to use then. When we are at the pool, we actually get a lot of birds around who come and join us at the pool. You'll see crow pheasants, kingfisher birds, bulbuls, mynas as well, and there are crows, of course. So, which proves that our water quality is pretty good. We use very little chlorine because, again, the usage is minimal. There's no evaporation, so we use minimal chlorine, and birds feel safe enough to come to our pool. So, just to give you, we have some skylights which allow in a bit of filtered sunlight during the day. And of course, there's a shower and a bathroom right here. Walking back from the pool, we will walk through the reflexology path now. This was a last year project during last year's lockdown, which Rameshwar and I worked on. It's turned out to be a really nice feature for the house, and it's like walking barefoot on a river stream, and you just walk for about 10 minutes or so, and it it's extremely soothing and stimulating, and it does wonders for your health. We have a handrail for a bamboo handrail, bamboo which is from our own bamboo clump for the elderly. Another feature in the garden, we have this wall through which you walk from the garden area into the central courtyard. But before that, let me talk to you about our INR horses. Um, we just wanted to create a little sacred grove of our own. So we went and found some local terracotta potters who still make these beautiful INR horses. And they found a place right here. Let me give you a 360-degree view of the property from the central courtyard, which will give you an idea of how we put the houses together. Starting from this end, that is where the main entrance is, the main door. That's the office over there. We'll go back that way later. This is the old Tamil house. It's a old restored Tamil house. It has its original foundation, and it has very thick mud mortar walls. As we go inside, you'll see how we have restored it. Then we recreated this old Franco-Tamil house. Again, I'll go into the architectural details later. We have the dining room below, and we have about 7 double occupancy rooms above. As I walk through each area, I'll tell you more about it. And as we turn around, that's the other side of the Mantra building. And that's how this is the whole view of the central courtyard. So while we were building this part of the building, we had to make space for the tree to stay. So it pretty much cuts in through the balcony on top. And as you can see, that this tree creates the most beautiful canopy that this property could have. It spreads all around, and it provides a lovely canopy up on our terrace as well. And it's just magnificent, this tree. So yeah, it's really special having this tree here. We will now go towards the Tamil house, and I'll take you for a tour inside. But before that, I'd like you to take you through the office and through the veranda. So let's head that way. Now that is the main gate at the entrance from where we had entered earlier. We follow all regular COVID protocols. This is a small little office for reception, where people first, kind of when they arrive, they have to do the check-in formalities here. A bicycle, because we do have quite a few very nice bicycles which we give out to guests to use, of course, for a small deposit. And we have a small notice board here which curated information on what is happening at that particular point of time. So a well-ventilated small little room, which is our office. And from here, then you move on to the veranda and the entrance veranda. It's important, again, I think I should mention this. Like in all old traditional homes, we request our guests to leave their outdoor footwear here. We do provide alternate home footwear in the rooms, so people generally come and change their shoes here when they go in and out of the house. This is the lovely old door, which again has been saved, salvaged, and restored. This is Indu Kariappa. She is Jyoti's mom, and she's the one who used to live here on this property until she passed away in 2015. This is her father, Major Kariappa. Those of you who have seen Siddharth, you'll realize that he looks exactly like his grandfather. Once again, just to turn around and give you the view of the central courtyard from the entrance. Back to the veranda. Uh, Here you see the plaque which says Grace, because this property now belongs to Jyoti's family trust, which is called the Grace Trust. So that is, the Grace Trust is the owner of the property. Throughout the property, you'll also see a lot of family photographs of relatives, cousins, interesting stories behind each of these, um, for those interested. Okay, now let me take you in through the Tamil house, which we will explore together. This is another one of those lovely old Tamil doors. As you probably know, the head height of most of these doors are quite low, so one needs to bend down one's head in humility while entering the house. That's what we believe. But one needs to be very careful while watching out for these levels. Uh, as you enter, you see we have these wonderful Athanguri tiles, which we got made specially for different rooms, but they're different colors, different designs based on each space that we wanted it for. This is one of our double occupancy rooms in the Tamil house. Now here, again, we've retained the original footprint of the structure of the house. The rooms used to be pretty small in most cases, but here we were able to create some additional space by opening up, by using old beams and pillars, and both on two sides. This is what the room looks like at present. We found this gorgeous old brass bed, which was kind of lying in a dump with one of the antique furniture shops. We managed to get it from them and restore it. It's really a beautiful piece. Old cupboards, we've used as many old cupboards where we could. Again, had to find the right ones to fit in the right spaces. Let me talk to you a little bit about our textiles, because Jyoti and I, both being from a textile background, we've used an interesting range of fabrics. This is a beautiful dhakai, which adds the sheer layer over our windows. And there we've used a pochampalli and a cotton temple sari to add the color on this curtain. These are some very personalized sketches and drawings made for us by Zandra Rhodes when she had come to stay with us. An interesting feature of this room is the bathroom, because this used to be the main door to this particular house from the street side. So we had to close this door and use this, close this door permanently and use this space as a bathroom in order to create space. That's Rara over there on the bed. He's been following me around. So while retaining most of the details, including this pillar, for example, we added all the modern amenities and features that we needed, making it a really interesting little bathroom. So back again into the main room. Shall take you into the adjoining room, which is a single occupancy or a queen size bedroom. So together the two rooms are ideal for, again, a family of three. This is the room. Folding door, which again has been restored. So because of the space, the limited space that we had, we just needed something which would fold, and we found this perfect old shutter which did the job really well. So this is what we used as a door for this bathroom. Walk up the stairs. This is interesting because this was meant to be Jyoti's private quarters. But Jyoti, since she lives in Delhi and she doesn't get to visit us quite often these days, maybe just about one trip a year, hence we have started opening it up. Again, just a small detail of a lovely little Tamil window in this corner. So we've started opening up and giving her space out to guests as well. It's very, very special, very well curated and managed, so it's only meant for some really special guests. I think Jyoti would agree that she also is very particular about who uses the space, because it leaves a certain energy, the kind of people who come and use the space. This is a beautiful door, again, which was already there in this house, and it was one of the features which actually made us want to restore this house. So this is a very, what should I say? It's a significant door for us. Okay, so here we are. Okay, here we are in the lobby of the studio. One of the special features of this is, while you have this fabulous view of the garden down below, but also the shutters have painted glass, and they are quite stunning. But if it's a little too much for you, you can of course drop the curtains and cut out on the shine and glare. In many of our houses where we have traditional Madras terrace roof, we prefer to keep the roof unplastered like this. It just looks so much more warmer and nicer. You will see a lot of Sri Aurobindo and the mother, because their presence in our lives is very significant. We are their devotees. This is the sitting area, the living room of the studio, comfortable lounging space, a Japanese kimono which we brought from Japan ourselves. Again, window details with view outside in the garden. This balcony was actually meant to be a balcony which overlooks the street, but because of the noise, we've kind of enclosed it, and it creates a sound barrier or a buffer, while also creating a quiet space here. But you can open up all the windows and you can still use it as a balcony if you want to. Now, part of this living room is also a kitchen, which is fully equipped. We have an induction cooker, we have refrigerator, water purifier, all the other gadgets, equipments, including a chimney. So this is a kitchen where people can really cook up their own meals. Again, the roof detail, as you see, old beams, which have been saved and reused. Now we go into the bedroom, which has Atangudi tiles, a high bed. It's not four-poster, but a very high bed, so steps to go up on the bed. Now here we gave some modern wardrobes because it was one of Jyoti's requirements. She wanted a lot of storage space for her clothes. So right now, not being used, but extensive wardrobe space in this room. That's what it looks like all around the room. This is the bathroom, and that's me over there in the mirror. Shower area. These you'll find little bits and pieces of sculpture and pottery all over the house because we are really into pottery and ceramics in a big way. So that's something which we really like to acquire and use just for our own pleasure. I mean, it just feels good having them around. Now, this bathroom has a small little balcony here, a private balcony to dry your clothes or even to do your yoga if you want, and you can look out into the garden from here. This connects with one of the rooms in the new building. So if you have a large group or a family and you want to open up the connecting spaces, you can open up this door and then you're connected through and through. So basically this is one of our we're really proud of this unit and this studio because it just is really fabulous. These are again, as I said, old doors and shutters which have been restored and recrafted and renovated and given a new lease of life. This is actually an old church pew which we've used here. We have some lovely skylights here to bring in some natural light from the roof. So the staircase is always well lit because of the skylights. And we shall head down. So we'll walk through this space into the next house, which used to be the next house, but since we connected the two and we opened it up. Now this is a lounge for anybody and everybody to use. It's a lovely sit-out space to sit and work quietly or just play a game. We have some indoor games here and lots of books. A very quiet, peaceful space to sit and work. Now at this point I should talk to you about the Wi-Fi. We have very good Wi-Fi all over the property, simply because we do cater to workation residents, people who come here for long stays to stay and work. So we have internet access points all over the property, and we have two providers. We have the BSNL fiber net and we have a private wireless system. So I mean, it never happens now that we don't have internet connectivity at any point of time. This is for even more quieter and a very private room. If somebody wants to sit and do some recording or work very quietly, this is the space for that. Recently we had a guest who was doing his music recording over here in this room. This is completely secluded and shut off from the rest of the space, so a perfect quiet room to do that. This is an atrium which used to be the courtyard, the earlier courtyard of this house. We have covered it up with glass on top because of the unit upstairs to create the privacy, and also the fact that this room can now be is now air conditioned. So this is we just call this the study because it just is a study room. And this is the lounge. So we now walk, and there's a little bathroom here as well for users. We walk through the lounge now back into the south courtyard. The south courtyard is a space where you can sit on these steps and absolutely enjoy this water body and this water garden, which generally has lots of little flowers, butterflies, bees, and it has a lot of fish in it. And we have some gorgeous frangipani blooming on this tree in the center. And we have the quiet, gentle sound of water. perfect place again to sit out in the evenings with your friends, enjoy a cup of tea, sit and read a book. That's what this place is meant for. As I probably told you earlier, that's the Dasarath studio. I will be showing you pictures of that. But what I can do is take you up to our G1 studio, which has just got vacated. So that's available and I can take you there. Downstairs here we have our generator. So it's a silent generator. So we have 24/7 backup as well. Up the stairs. This is the entrance to G1 studio. It's a very compact loft-like space. This is part of the kitchenette. So we have a microwave, we have an induction cooker, we have crockery and cutlery. And we have the sink, and we also have a water purifier, drinking water RO right here. So all in all, it's a small space, but it's a fully functional kitchenette. There's a refrigerator which is there. Now this has 2 levels. So this is the lower level, which is single bed, and the refrigerator and the study table here. If you walk out onto the balcony, it's almost like being on a tree house, because the mango tree is right in front, and you get a view of the courtyard here and the other balconies of other rooms. Coffee and tea making facilities, toaster, electric kettle, everything's provided in each studio. This is the bathroom, the shower. Now, I'll take you up to the sleeping area, which is like a little loft. It is one of my personal favorites because just creating these little spaces was a challenge, but it just turned out to be quite amazing. So I really love this space. And if I had to come and choose a place, I would probably choose one of these. So we go up the steps here. And that is a futon bed on the floor for those who want to stay here. So basically it's a triple occupancy. You have a double bed here and a single bed below, and then there is space, which a little passage which leads you to the wardrobes. So there's enough storage space as well. I mean, this is indeed quite popular with our staycationers. Let's go, Rara. And the steps go further up to the other studio upstairs, which is slightly bigger than this one. A slightly bigger kitchen and a bigger bedroom, a bathroom with a bathtub. But again, I can't show it to you right now, but I'll show you some visuals. Um, One thing which I'd like to highlight here is that for rainwater harvesting, what we did was to create recharging pits in each of our different segments of our property, because they all had different levels. So we have one right over there. It goes down pretty deep, about 8 to 10 feet deep, and it filters the rainwater as it runs off the roof and collects over here. So it filters and then it recharges the groundwater. I'll just walk through the dining room to show you the other one here. This is our other recharging pit. So similar ones we have in every section of our property. So all the rainwater that comes down the roof or even falls on the surface, it just goes down to recharge the groundwater. A quick tour of our central hall or the dining room. This is the main meeting area where we generally meet to spend evening together, have dinner together, or just to interact with each other. This is a portrait of Auntie's, a lovely photograph of hers, in Kariappa. This is our dear departed friend G.V. Sethi, someone who inspired both Jyoti and me tremendously. We also serve breakfast here. I'll just come to that. But before that, let me talk to you a bit about Aarti, because Aarti lives here. She's a long-term resident with us, and she is a teacher of pottery at Golden Bridge Pottery School. And we do sell a small, limited edition of her work from here, because sometimes people don't want to go, they don't have the time to go shopping. They can quickly pick up a few of her ceramics from here. Ajit Kujalgi, again a guide, mentor, friend who we lost in 2015, Pondicherry lost in 2015. He has been extremely inspirational in terms of personally guiding me in restoration and Pondicherry's heritage. We actually, before he passed, we had discussed about this property, and a lot of the ideas and inputs came from him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there when we actually started the work. So this is where we serve breakfast, our buffet breakfast in the mornings. This is our kitchen. So we just open up this window, and that is an old well which was at the edge of the property, and we just enclosed it within the kitchen. So it works as a source of water for the garden, as well as works as a countertop now for us. Let me take you on a quick tour of our main kitchen. Generally, this is not accessible to guests, but if you have any long stay guests who are foodies, they're welcome to come and cook and use the facilities in this kitchen. We do not provide room service because we are not a hotel, we are a homestay. But when our guests order in takeaways or home deliveries, which there are excellent facilities here in Pondicherry, we are happy to provide the service and lay out the tables for them and the dining room. This is where we do our buffet breakfast. We do have a limited menu for our regular long stay guests, and we also do cater to special meals on request, whether it's a multi-course chettinad meal or a South Indian home-cooked meal or a Bengali meal. We can do any of that on request. So this is our dining hall. As I come out on the veranda of the Franco-Tamil side, so that's where we had walked in from earlier. I shall quickly take you through some of our rooms here now, but before that, just a bit about the architecture of this building. We've used old beams, old pillars, old wood for all our rafters. It's a Madras terrace roof. The flooring is all stone. This is again taken from some of the old Chettinad floors that we have in Karaikudi, so it's the same design. So we've tried to, and in fact, even the doors and windows, every single door and window is a salvaged door or a window taken from a house which has been demolished or is in the process of being demolished. So they're all very special because each one comes with a little bit of memory with it. Oh, we're going into we have 2 rooms on the ground floor. One is at the end of this veranda, and this is the second one. A quick look inside, again, Atanguri tiles, a large king-size bed, detailings. I won't spend too much time on each of the rooms because otherwise we will not be able to cover all of them. So a quick walkthrough. And as I walk, important to mention that we do not give drinking water in plastic bottles. We have lovely ceramic pots, again made by Golden Bridge Pottery, supplemented by glass bottles. We refill and we supply clean filtered water to our guests, but we do not provide plastic bottles. Even our waste baskets, we provide newspaper linings, and we do not provide plastic bags. I'm sorry, you can probably see my little kittens following me around all the time. So back out onto the veranda, and now walking down to the, well, that's me on the mirror. We have lots of mirrors all over the place. This is room A. Again, beautiful Chettinad flooring, Chettinad tiles, 4-poster, king size. We do provide laundry service on payment, and we have a booklet for our house guidelines, which is there in every room for all our guests. A little bit about our wardrobes. These are again recycled door frames which have been used to craft the cupboards, and we provide house coats, bathrobes, dohars, all soft malmal cotton. Bathroom. In the bathrooms, we provide a hair dryer, which is in this bag. And again, we do not we only do non-disposables. So we refill the shampoo and the conditioner, and the only thing which we provide is body soaps or hand soaps, which are made for us, handmade soaps, which is probably what you can call a disposable. Local Tamil towels. Another small detail, as I talked to you about ceramics before, we have a collection of very exquisite pottery on display in all our rooms as well, hoping that the kind of guests we have would appreciate it. So this is one of our rooms. Coming out, we have an elevator which goes up to the terrace from the ground floor. We have a basement down there as well. It's closed right now for renovation because we have a small kind of a home gym and a meeting room for larger groups who want a quiet place for an audio-visual presentation or have a meeting for about up to 15 people. So that's the space that we provide over there. Walking up the stairs, a lovely portrait of the mothers standing on a staircase. As you come up on the first floor, again you get a lovely view of the central courtyard. It's a really nice place to sit out, have a cup of tea or morning tea or coffee before you go down for your breakfast. At the far end of the corridor is where I live. That's my private quarters. I'll start with a quick view from this room here. Similar configuration, small detail changes because again this has two windows on the northern side, so there's a bit more ventilation in this room, cross ventilation. Not that you need it because all our rooms are adequately air conditioned. Another lovely piece of ceramic here. Down to this is another double occupancy room. Very high beds, hence we have provided steps to climb the beds. They essentially, you'll see, I mean, between the rooms, these rooms, the difference is in the color scheme, some amount of furniture detailing, but otherwise these four rooms are very similar in configuration. Next to it, right adjacent to it, is another room with a more modern low king size bed for those who don't want to climb a high bed. Adangudi tiles again. This is a slightly more compact room but very cozy and well ventilated on at least 3 sides, I think. Bathroom. I mean, here in Pondicherry we do great stucco walls, so we again, just to show you, newspaper instead of plastic in the garbage bags. Now let me take you to an interesting feature of our house, which is the tea room. The tea room is a dedicated space where you can come in any time of the day or night and make yourself a cup of tea or a filter coffee. We do not provide tea trays in the rooms, essentially to minimize wastage, and it also helps us maintain the quality of the room if you do not have the tea trays in the room. So this is the tea room where you can come, fix yourself a cup of tea or coffee, go outside, sit and enjoy your morning sip. The tea room is open 24/7. I now take you to our 2 special rooms, which are bigger and have private balconies attached with it. This is the F room. Again, some lovely ceramics. Again, if I can talk about the textiles, this is vegetable dyed handloom silk, which we've dyed ourselves at our farm in Rajasthan. Hand painted curtains. This is the private balcony, which opens towards the south courtyard and the mango tree. We take you to the other adjoining room, which is also a larger room with its private balcony. This is the G room. This again is one of Jyoti's fabulous jamdanis. Now, just as when we were finishing this house, Jyoti had badly fractured her leg, and that's when she stopped wearing saris, and Kariappa house was fortunate to get most of a beautiful, gorgeous collection of saris which we've reused over here. So this is the balcony in the G room. Again, a lovely sit out to sit and enjoy the outdoors. An interesting feature is that this room connects with the Dasrath House studio at this end of this veranda through this door. So if you're a large group, then you can connect and interact with each other more easily instead of walking all the way around. Just wanted to draw your attention towards these two cupboards, which are triangular cupboards in the corner because we wanted to utilize space and reuse these lovely old doors. This door here again connects with the studio in the Tamil house. So again, it's possible to open up and walk in from this side if required. The bathroom. These louvered doors are all salvaged old doors which have been recrafted and reused to perfection. This is the first floor level of the lovely old rain tree, where you can actually hug the tree at this point over here because it literally cuts into the balcony at this point, and then we've given it enough space to go out again. We had to create additional structures to give support to the roof over here, but we just think that it's a wonderful feature to have. Let's head up towards the terrace now. That would be our last point. Okay, as I do a 360-degree sweep around here, let me tell you a bit about the number of keys we have on the property, because we have different kinds of accommodation and not everything is listed everywhere. So these double occupancy rooms that you saw, we have about 7 of them. And we have about 5 studios, which are for long stays. We prefer to keep them reserved only for long stays because we realize that we have a really good market for long stay residents. So if you're talking about rooms, then we have the 7 rooms in this building, and then in the Tamil house we have a double and a single. And in the Mantra building, we have a double and a single, which we can also give out as a studio because it has a kitchenette attached to it. So altogether, 15 keys, but different types of rooms and configurations. We shall walk up the stairs now to the terrace because we have some interesting features up there as well. And wanted to show you the roof as I walk up because I'm really proud of this roof, which looks absolutely stunning and beautiful. We have a lot of natural light which comes through this roof, and these steps actually lead to a very large storage space that we have. Every house needs big storage spaces, so the 2 rooms on top of the loft are our really large storage areas. So coming out, you walk out literally at the top of the rain tree. It still has some blossoms. It just is like walking into a tree again. This is a little pantry or a kitchenette which we have on the terrace for terrace. If you ever plan to do dinners and parties on the terrace, you have even a quiet sitting and working space because there's access to the G2 studio from here. Again, that's one studio I'm not able to show you because it's occupied. But those who stay in the G2 studio can come down, sit and work here, and use the space for themselves. This is a bathroom and a toilet, the lovely Art Deco door, which we found. And then the terrace goes down this entire length, again under a beautiful canopy, plenty of space for sitting quietly, doing your yoga, painting, reading. So great space for all of that. We sun dry most of our laundry here. We do have solar panels for, and we are connected to the grid, so we save on a lot of electricity bills. So a large part of our electrical generation is through the solar net metering. A nicer view of the canopy from the rooftop. And if you look down into the central courtyard from here, this is the G2 studio. You can't see much from here, but I'll show you the visuals later. So we walk. Now, those who stay in the G2 studio can actually use the lift, because the lift, as I said, it comes up to the terrace over here, and then you just walk across the terrace to your unit. This is our laundry room. So this is Vanaja. Vanaja is our housekeeping in charge. She's our cook, our chef. She takes care of, she's been with us for a few years. She used to earlier be with us at Gratitude, and now she's here at Kariappa House with us. Extremely dependable and very, very sincere with all her work. So thank you, Vanaja. The elevator. This is one of our staff toilets. Then we take a little bridge which connects this building to the Mantra building rooftop, where we have this lovely yoga space. It's completely covered, shaded. At least about 15 to 20 people can fit in here while doing the yoga. And we do provide yoga mats. And we make sure this place is absolutely spotlessly clean for people to do their stretches and routines. We do have yoga teachers nearby who are available on call and request. We don't have everyday regular classes, because unless it's required, we don't need to hire them. But if and when somebody comes for a week or longer, we can easily get them a yoga teacher to do a full routine with them. And of course, we do have yoga retreats, which we are planning to do. Once this entire COVID thing is over, maybe we shall do yoga retreats as well. We have a massage room here. Again, we have masseuses on call. We have female and male masseuses who are available, who live nearby, and they can come at short notice whenever required. It has its own shower and a toilet. So this brings us to the end of our walking tour of Kariappa House. I think it might have taken much longer than anticipated. I'm really sorry about that, but I'm happy to head back downstairs now and answer any queries that you may have, any questions.